And we are live by the looks of it. Welcome to MUFC Realist TV. Of course, this is the Transfer Corner. Mick Ruby here, and we have a lot of stories to talk to you. If you missed my earlier video, early this morning, we talked about Leny Yoro edging closer to Manchester United and also Matthias de Ligt. But we also have a here we go from David Ornstein reporting that Mason Greenwood, that saga is over. Apparently, Mason Greenwood has accepted to join Olympic Marseille, apparently. So that is a big breaking news. But in this, we're going to talk about a lot of things, what's going on. Scott McTominay, what's going on with Scott McTominay. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to AC Milan. It's getting hot. Casemiro is being forced out. Apparently, Casemiro is going to leave. But predominantly, in this show, we're going to talk about Leny Yoro to Manchester United. Almost here we go. Personal terms seems to be not a problem. They are talking. Matthias de Ligt, Leny Yoro, is there two separate deals or the one single deal? Stick around because here we go. This is Mick Ruby and the M&M show. Let's go for it. Let me know if you can hear me. Smash a like. I seem to have a little bit of problem. Mark is waiting in the background. Let's do this. You know what to do? Smash the like button. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. MUFC Realist TV. We're still waiting for the other M. This is the M&M transfer show. Mark is waiting in the background. I just received a message that he pulled a hamstring. Apparently, he was trying to get into the preseason tour, but he didn't make it. He always pulls a hamstring. But we're here in this first live stream of me this week. Obviously, I've been out. I've been away for a couple of days. You watched the earlier video. You kind of understood what I was leaning towards, and we promised if there is any further updates we will do a live show, and here we are today. And of course I was watching England, the heartache, and Viva España, and obviously drinking too much, so I've been a little bit away, and I gave the keys to the kingdom to Mark, and obviously Mark is now ready to go. But Mason Greenwood, he's probably gonna cry. You guys that know Mark Nurse, he's been the biggest fanboy of Mason Greenwood. Now he's going to cry crocodile tears. So we don't want to sort of get that, but I hope he's fine like red wine. Mark, welcome to the stage, my friend. How are you doing? You're on mute as per usual. Do we have a sign language? Mark, unmute yourself, buddy.
Sorry, guys. Big up. Good evening, Duncan Bolido. Big up, Casimir and ADMIRALDrex. What's good, homie? Guys, Mick. Yeah, it's good and bad news, to be fair, because now the saga is over. You know what I mean? The stress and frustration that, you know, this is done. There's a decision. The player could move forward. We could move forward. In that regards, I'm happy. But at the same time, I feel like we lost a generational talent that money cannot really buy us back in the next year or two. We're going to have to hope we get something to replace it. But that's how it goes sometimes in football.
That's how it rolls. I mean, for me, this window looks like we're heading towards a 10 out of 10 window in terms of what's going out, what's coming in. And Greenwood was a situation that, you know, the club needed to sort out. Like, you know, we had endless of debates on this channel. There's been numerous divide within the fan base, but now that seems to be closed, to be honest, Mark. Because David Ornstein cracked it earlier today. Marseille reached an agreement with MUFC to sign Greenwood last week. The deal was worth 31.6 million, which is approximately, Mark, 26.7 million, comprising in fixed and 4 million, 3.5 in add-ons, plus a large share of any future sale. This is according to the bomb by himself, David Ornstein. Oh my God, David Ornstein is doing a madness this summer window.
100%. You know, and with the good and bad news and the mixture, you know, there's always going to come some actually positive news with it. And Mick, I have to say, you had the finger on the pulse. You've been talking about it for weeks and days, and people may not have been listening 100%, but now it's happening. So,
well, Mark, we are not David Ornstein, we are not Fabrizio Romano, and never do we want to be. I mean, from my perspective, we have finger on the pulse. We speak to the market, we speak to the agents, we speak to some tier ones, and the sources that we get. Like at the end of the day, we care about this club, we care about this development club going together. So if we have information, we share. Sometimes deals falls through, sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. But when it came to Xerxes, we said like it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And lo and behold, I even said, like, Morata will be their signing for AC Milan, and Morata will be the signing for AC Milan. But listen, we are here as a community to honor this Ineos revolution. No matter what you think, Glaze is still here, but they are doing bits on the market. Putting the structure in place. We saw the preseason, a little bit rusty yesterday, but in terms of moving out Greenwood, that is a impeccable business because we have a 50% sell-on whenever they sell. Plus, we have an option to buy more shares into it.
That's going to be interesting, and I think it's one of those things that shows in the market that we have been moving different. This new structure coming in is 100% an upgrade on what we had before. A lot of things that we've never done before, we're doing right now. We're moving like a big club again. You know what I mean? We're making negotiations with multiple players. You're seeing exits. You're seeing incomings. You're seeing the possibility for players to come in. You would never dream you could get them because we're competing with clubs the size of Real Madrid again.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way we are structuring the deals, which is totally different. I mean, we're going in on these installments, like, we're putting a little bit on the table. We are lowering with the power of the rebuild. Like, we're not overpaying. We're walking away from deals. It's like that song, I'm walking away, you know what I mean? From troubles in my mind, the past. Regarding Leny Yoro, like, one thing about Ornstein, he said something this morning, which I corrected in a way, because Ornstein said, that's either De Ligt or Leny Yoro. Now, I did a video this morning and I said, like, it's not either, it's both. So the way Manchester United's been doing business is that they're going in and putting bids for multiple bids, right? Because they're not just going to put one egg in one basket. So one may fall off. In the case, we move on to the third target. Now, in this case, it's Mattias de Ligt and it's Leny Yoro. It's always been the case for the right center, for the left, sorry, I can't even speak, right-footed center-back, Mark. So what does that mean, Mark? Well, Florian Plettenberg said, like, that Manchester United have not really put a formal bid in as of yet, but that is not true. Manchester United have reached personal terms for De Ligt. Everything is engaged. It's led to believe around 42 million, 5-year contract. Plus, what they're doing right now is similar to what they did with Xerxes in order to sort of, on our terms, like, in our payment terms. So we can sort of split that up in 3-4, how do I say, amortizing, 3 to 4 signings, payments, right, Mark? So this is what it comes down to, and Bayern Munich wants to get this done. But in this case, with Leny Yoro, it is a replacement for Willy Kwambala. You will never let go of Willy Kwambala if you didn't have reinsurances that you will replace him with Willy Kwambala. Now, for me, Willy Kwambala was a shock. They came from nowhere, Mark. He came. But we are definitely looking to sign 3 center-backs. And in this case, it's not just one, it's 2. So there is Mattias de Ligt and who else?
There's also Yoro, and there's also another option. Leny Yoro, and I see Chow. Big up to you, Chow. Haven't seen you in the comments before. Big up, my bro. Welcome to the stream. I understand you think it's the reason he chose us is because Real Madrid don't want to overpay for a player that's only 18, has potential. I mean, at the same time, it's how the market goes. You can make it out to be whatever it was. Some clubs may have wanted to get a player and United overpaid. United wanted to get Darwin Núñez. Liverpool overpaid for him. Now you would probably say Darwin Núñez was not worth £95 million. Lucky United didn't buy him. So it could work either way. The good thing is that Manchester United are now able to convince these players to come to enjoy the project that we have building. That's the interesting thing. We are selling them a great project. And to be fair, what stops us from getting both of them?
We are going to get both of them, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Listen, at the end of the day, Manchester United have been scouting Leny Yoro for over 12 months. It's been high on the radar. Leny Yoro, it is that generational talent, like a Varane. Varane, we missed out, like, when he was young. But he chose to go to Real Madrid instead. But we got Varane in his late pomp. Anyway, he came to United. This is a target that Manchester United has been identified as key, right? So for him, it's clear and obvious he's not going to sort of renew his contract with, with Lille. He's made it clear and evidential that his dream move was Real Madrid, like any other French player. But when Manchester United come in, and this is what I've been told, with showing the intent of love, basically, we want you. We put 50 million on. They sold the project to say you're going to be a first-team starter. If you go to Real Madrid, which they have showed zero intent to say, be nonchalant, Mark. If you listen to me, they said basically, we're only going to pay 70 million, but on our terms. We'll come at the end of the window potentially. But I was the first one to also report that they are looking at alternatives, right? But they are nonchalant to say that we will come to you and basically run down your contract, and we will see. For him, it's not reinsurances. Basically, his agent, who is his agent? Mark, do you know who his agent is?
Who?
George Mendes, of course.
He likes us.
Yeah, George Mendes has his very good relationship with us, and basically he screwed up the relationship with Manchester United with the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. You know, Piers Morgan stuff, right? So anyway, it is now, according to beliefs, and this is coming from Nabil Jallit. And when Nabil Jallit comes out as well, this few hours after my video, this guy is the tier 1 journalist in France, got over 500,000 followers on Twitter, Mark, to say, let me share this screen. And this is, unfortunately, I only have this tweet. Breaking, Manchester United have moved ahead of Real Madrid in the race to sign Leny Yoro. He is in negotiation with United about salary condition. He's open to move to Manchester United. This is according to Nabil Jallit. And if you don't believe me, just go scroll over his here, and you will see that he's got over 540,000 subscribers. He is the #1 sports journalist in not in Paris, but in France, right? So I did a video about this morning, and I've been following up on this. And I said, Lenny, I feel confident Leny Yoro heads has been turned, right? It is all about Mark. It's about development, right? It's about getting minutes, right? As what you said, he's been sold in the project. So at the end of the day, when you're not feeling loved, where you look at this dream girl, you want this. I don't know how you sway if you like boys or girls, Mark, but I assume you like girls, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
or maybe
I'm from the Caribbean, mate. I think it's easy to assume that we like lots of girls.
Yeah. Or maybe you're non-binary. I don't know. Let's just say you like. Okay, so basically you looking at your dream girl, and the dream girl is looking at you. It's like, I kind of fancy you, Mark, but I want to chase other opportunities as well. But I will come back to you eventually, right? But if you don't feel the response, if you don't feel the love, and the other suitor comes in like, well, this other guy is handsome as well. And what does he offer? Oh, game time, development. Erik ten Hag, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Manchester United on a rebuild. Hey. And what I've been told as well, that part of this negotiation is to put in a release clause that to say that within 4 or 5 years, he's free to go to a Real Madrid if you want to. But in the meantime, this guy might be falling in love with Manchester United and a marriage for life, right? He's still 18 years of age. By the time he finishes his 5-year contract, he'll be 24, 25 on his pomp. And Manchester United can sell him for a massive fee if that goes well.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things where you look at it like, it's exciting. It has to be. You know what I mean? And you might assume that we might be going to pay Leny Yoro some large existential fee per week. I'm hearing it somewhere in the region of 58 million pounds 58,000 per week. You know what I mean? That's pretty decent. Joshua Zirkzee's fee is 56,000 a week. Can you imagine that? A lot of people think it's 100K plus when they heard that we tripled his wages. They just assumed maybe he was on such a high wage before.
Well, this is another point that I that's on my radar, Mark. Like we done this months ago when we did the calculation of how Manchester United can actually raise funds, and that is lower down the wage bill and selling players, forcing. I know what you people say, forcing out Casemiro, but that is a massive wage bill cut, 18 million, what the guy is on, right? And plus, if you recuperate 30 million, that is a profit at the end of the day, right? And if you then continue recruiting those players with a lesser wage, the problem is solved. We're looking fine at the market at the moment, Mark.
100. I mean, look at it. We're doing good business. There's some in a few months, seasons prior, we might have had to pay 180 million for this guy. We might have had to give him 100 and something thousand per week, but we don't have to do that.
No. No, it's fine. For me, I want to hear from you guys. What is the VR room saying? I have a little bit technical problems here. Can you see the chat, Mark?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Like, I think Scotty at the wheel is coming in. Could you imagine Martinez, Yoro, Delit, and Kwambala as your first choice center backs? Makes me kind of happy. Timber chose Arsenal. Yeah. The only thing, Scotty, is that Kwambala left for Villarreal. That has been confirmed. But we do have a buyback clause and we have a sell-on clause as well. So that's going to be interesting. But, you know, if you remove Kwambala for a second, there's the opportunity for another center back to come in late in the window if everything is done and, you know, we sort out the spine and, you know, the midfield gets what we had to get. You know, I mean, these things can happen. Let's go on now. Sam is coming in saying Timber is still a baller, though. Duncan Benito says Real Madrid want him for free at the end of his contract, just like Mbappe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They've been doing that for years. Yeah.
100%. Rika Monk is saying Nabil was the journalist who first broke the Leny Yoro story. He's very credible.
He's very credible.
100%, bro. Engbeg is saying, what is happening in the midfield with incomings? Is Ugarte coming or is it going to be someone else? Mick, I'll let you take that.
We'll keep that for later. We will move into that story as well. Like, because at the end of the day, like, when Nabil comes in, there's such a saltiness there in a war against in journalism, right? Because according to Lepit Lilios, he says, contradictory, he goes against him to say, listen, Leny Yoro doesn't absolutely want to join Real Madrid. Yoro was tired to become of the slowness of Manchester United. No one listen, blah, 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 right? Did you get that?
Yeah. And
are you paying attention? Let me show it again. He says, Leny Yoro doesn't absolutely want to join Real Madrid now. Now he comes in and says he doesn't want Real. You know, he's become tired of the slowness of Madrid, and now he's only listening to Manchester United's offer.
I mean, it was bound to happen, Mick. We spoke about this a few days ago when we had the last M&M show, and I was saying to you, you know, Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. It's true. But if anyone's going to be number 2, it has to be us. And if Real Madrid is coming in for you, of course, you know, they're still going to have to show you that they want you. It's just like anyone. If you're going to ask a girl out on a date, you got to impress her. You got to be able to give her the right conversation that gives her that intrigue that wants to say, well, okay, this guy's interesting. Let's go. You know, not just he has a nice car, not just that he has money, you know, but he has something about him as well. And maybe Real Madrid has the nice car. Maybe Real Madrid has the money. But maybe United has all of that and personality. And that's what Real Madrid was missing.
No, but seriously, if you're talking on those terms, you don't want to be a one-night stand of Real Madrid, right? That's the thing.
True.
You don't want to. You want to be a regular. You know what I mean? If we're talking those terms, right? Let's say if your dream girl is Margot Robbie, you know, I don't know. Do you like Margot Robbie? Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's pretty nice, Mick. Pretty nice.
You come there with your peacock, you know, feathers all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. You do all these things, and you know, like, you know, I'm Manchester United. Look at me, and then Margot, like, yeah, you look pretty, but listen, I'm looking at the eagle over there, like, which is Real Madrid. But listen, at the end of the day, you'll just walk away. You'll lose interest. Listen, if you don't love me, I go for the next one, Julia Roberts or whatever. In analogy term, Mark, right? So for me, it's more what I'm saying. Like, you know, when it comes down to agents' job is to advise you, to say, listen, where are you going to get the most minute in development? Will you get it with Real Madrid?
100%.
Or will you get it with Manchester United?
You have a better choice if you look at the managers. And I would take it so far as look at Ancelotti. Great manager. He is the Don. Trust me. I'm one of his fans. But look at Ten Hag. He's a manager that is known to be using youth players in big games, develop them to a next level and help them progress on. He's known for this. So why would you not take a chance to go there? Even if, let's just say on the negative side, United doesn't win the Premier League when you get there. We might still win a Europa League this season. We might win an FA Cup or 2. Might win the Carabao Cup or 2 again. We'll still be in Champions League competing as well. Yeah. And you will be getting game time because you're a young player who's coming in. The manager wants you. The manager already has a plan for you. And he's going to make sure to develop you because he wants you to win with him.
Yeah, that is a major part of, according to my understanding, what I understood, why he's choosing Manchester United at the moment. It's all development, the promise of the game time. And, you know, Champions League, even if he goes to Real Madrid, he's not going to be even a starter, right? You look at players like Tchouaméni, right? Mark, Tchouaméni and who else? You know, Kamavinga.
Kamavinga.
Did they get minutes? It took them 2 years to even, and they're not even regulars at the moment either, right? So, do you want to
100%.
go to Real Madrid, sit on the bench, and have it on CV? So many players came to Real Madrid and never seen the light of day. At the end of the day, what is best for my career at the moment, right?
Exactly.
18 years of age. Manchester United want me, and we are arguably to say the second biggest club in the world after Real Madrid in terms of finances, in terms of fan base and stuff like that. So, I think that for me, I think that this is going to be a here we go. I think this is going to be a here we go by the looks of it.
For me, I'm looking at it from the perspective that we're possibly going to get this talent, and even if he does want to move on, he could still play 5 years at Man United and leave at 24 and still play 6 years at Real Madrid. So in any way you take it, for me, I would think that for any young player right now, with seeing the structure and seeing all that Man United are doing, the upgrades with the training ground, the $50 million upgrade, the brand new medical team that's coming in, brand new state-of-the-art medical center that's being built as well.
Right.
As a young player, you're going to say, you know what? This club is going places, or they want to go places. Maybe I want to help them get there.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting. And it's so weird when you look at it, players like Ivan Toney suddenly saying, I want to go to Man United. This guy was waxing lyrical 6 months ago about joining Arsenal, guys. This is how important it is to understand what's interesting about the project, the idea of the project in the eyes of other players around the world.
I mean, players are waking up. Everyone, agents are waking up to see this is the new Manchester United. Look, who do we manage to get in? Omar Barada, everyone is in place. The head of recruitment. This is a total different team at the moment, right? So, of course, different projects. It matter if you're not going to play Champions League. Eventually, you're going to play in Champions League. You're going to potentially win titles again. So, trust me, when it comes to choosing, right? Not everything that you see over there is gold, right? So at the end of the day, what you look at as an agent and a player, and this is what I believe that, it's come to development and game time, 100%. Why players are leaving certain clubs is because they're not getting game time. And we've seen a lot of players leaving United because they're not getting game time, because the academy players, for instance, right? So for me, I think this is going to be a signing at the end of the day. It leans more towards,
100%. And I mean, the thing with players, young academy players leaving because they want more game time is not new to United. It happens at every single club. Look at Xavi Simons. He wanted to leave PSG for game time.
He wants Manchester United too,
and he wants Manchester United as well, which is really interesting. You know what I mean? Look at De Ligt. De Ligt wanted to leave Ajax to get game time in a bigger league. When he was coming to you, when United tried to get him back then, he probably was not getting a guarantee on the game time he wanted to get, so he chose Juventus.
Yeah, but you remember this fake account that said something about I don't want United, and he tweeted back himself, the original Euro, to say don't believe in lies, you're psychos, yeah? So he's basically taking his time to think. He's speaking to his parents, and it comes down to, listen, what is the best way for me to move now? And if United is smart, what they're negotiating to put in a release clause and to say, listen, we will not stop you if you want to go in 4 years' time, you can still go and complete your dream club. Now, look at, for instance, Erling Haaland. Manchester United want Erling Haaland, but he thought, where do I develop best? Where did they give the youth a chance? He went to Dortmund, but Dortmund has kind of lost that pole. And I like to say that in analogy that United has become the kind of new Dortmund, right? The modern new Dortmund. Like we're not a feeder club, but we have such a great young academy coming in. We're recruiting youngsters, and everyone's going to get minutes by the looks of it. Yesterday, young Collier, oh my God. Young Vitek in goal, oh my God. We're going to cook.
This is what I've been saying to everyone. I've been saying everyone has been so distracted by the performance last season of the senior professionals. And I mean, it's fair enough to have that opinion, because you know what? The football was not good enough. But some of those players, you have to remember two things. Some of them, they are not used to this style of play. One, some of them may not be of the profile to play that style of play. And others, they're still working on learning the style of play. So when you have youngsters coming in like Toby Collier, who is already coached in that style of play, he knows what he needs to do as a DM in the attacking, expansive style of play. He's going to look good. And I mean, it was his first game, but he looked levels above Mason Mount yesterday in the midfield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guys, we are running a poll at the moment. I forgot about that because I basically put a poll in and I said, will Leny Yoro choose United over Real Madrid? And guess how many people are now saying 77% saying yes. The confidence, guys, the confidence within the fan base now also believe that 77% thinks that he's going to end up being a Manchester United player. So for me, the horometer goes up to 70% right now, Mark.
100%. I think Mick, I would say it goes up to 85 for me because I think he's one step away.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Calma.
I'm calm, you know, but the reason why I say this, Mick, is because I feel like United might accelerate certain moves in the defense once we sign a defender. You know, we signed a attacking player, we sold the attacking player immediately. You know, we signed a defender, maybe we sell 2 defenders immediately. You know, we're trying to sell Lindelof. Harry Maguire has been rumored to be talking about a possible move away. Not too sure how interesting that is or how true it is. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what? If Casemiro goes to Saudi, Mick.
Listen, this is unprecedented. Like I don't recognize my club. You know, take it or leave it. This is happening. This is happening. A story, big up, mate. The common sense. This is a common sense move. But story says, right for Euro, it will go straight into United. In 3 years' time, United will sell him and make money, and that is smart. That is called, like, you know, it's not that we are feed a club, but we are kind of becoming like one. Like, you know, we buy young players, then we make them successful. We buy them for 50, and within a couple 3 years, they probably would be worth 100, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it's a good move. I feel like the way we're handling these discussions and how we're moving, how we're shuffling these moves is perfect. It's the perfect example of the way to negotiate things. I mean, we could still be getting done. The lit could be a done deal over right after you could hear a double done deal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the thing is, United are amortizing payments, so they're saving money this year, but they're still, you know, getting the players that they want.
Okay. Which transitions over to the next story, and this is what I said in the morning's video. Like, you know, I just broke it down quite nicely. It's not either one or the other. It's 2 signings. It's going to be 3 center backs. The third one we're going to talk about in a bit. But De Ligt, what you're saying there is absolutely correct. You know, Ten Hag's been speaking to De Ligt, personal terms agreed, but they've just been simply waiting because they want to align everything into one go, right? Matthias De Ligt might be the first more experienced Rafael Varane replacement, but De Ligt is not going to play, like, you know, 440 games a season. Like, of course, Leny Yoro is going to deputize and play in that system as well. So De Ligt is what you're saying there. You know, they are still negotiating with Bayern swiftly, but it's all about the payment structures, similar to what they did with Bologna, right? On our terms, on favorable terms. This is the model, the carbon copy model, what they did with Xerxes, in a way. We're willing to pay you a little bit more extra with more favorable terms because of FFP restrictions, right? So we might end up paying 8 million the first or 12 million in 4 installments, Mark.
And that's interesting because it's what we need to do. If you look at the transfer spend, we probably have a possible 150, 120, 150. Out of that, we've currently spent 17. You know, if we drop another 10 to 15 on the Euro deal, that's 33 or 34 million spent. We still have another like 90 to spend. We can go for like 5-6 players, guys.
Yeah.
It just depends.
We did a calculation, estimated like we will spend about 260 approximately with ins and outs. And the way you calculate it is like, you know, okay, the first year you only spend like, you know what, 12 million on the striker. Xerxes, you might pay what, another 12 million for another center back, another 10 million for 3 center backs. That's not even coming up to like 30,000 this year, like, you know. So it's interesting how we're moving, and then we're shipping off a lot of players and the wage bill cut and everything. So, God, this is unprecedented. This is not the United that I know, to be honest. This is not a club. What's going on?
Yeah, Mick. I mean, football is back to priority. It's nothing about the Instagram popularity anymore. It's about what's happening on the pitch. As you can see from the way the structure is moving, they're focusing the efforts on the field, getting the football back to top level. getting players in that could help change things. That's where the focus should be and always should be, guys.
Yeah. And for everyone that's tuning in right now, if you're commuting or you're going home for work, don't forget to smash that like button. It is absolutely free. If you can get up to over 100 likes on this stream, even 200, even if you're getting more likes, the merry if you're watching this in retrospective. So hit the like, please. Must play say, I'd rather have Delete than Yoro, but first choice was Todibo, but UEFA bringing UEFA makes that difficult. Well, Todibo seems to be going to AC Milan by the looks of it for a higher price.
I thought he was going to Juve.
Oh, sorry, Juve was it? Sorry, Juve. I was thinking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, Juve. You're right.
Well, let's move on to Aaron Wan-Bissaka one time, since we're on the topic of Italy.
Yeah, what's on your radar regarding AWBR Spider
Well,
Legs?
I heard some reports recently that Milan are considering a move for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think it's something that possibly could materialize in the next coming week. You know, I think it's a good deal for Wan-Bissaka. You know, he's going to enjoy it at Milan. In my opinion, it's another club that wears red, white, and black, so that it fits the mold. You know what I mean? At the same time, I think I would have liked to keep Wan-Bissaka this summer. To be fair, I feel like we need to prioritize a left back. But if Wan-Bissaka goes, it's likely that that deal that people heard about reports that we might be getting that other guy.
Yeah. You know what? I said wrong. I was thinking about, AC Milan. I said that a couple of weeks ago. But keep in mind for Italian clubs coming in for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because his style of play suits the Serie A 100% in terms of defending. And also Harry Maguire to Serie A might also capitalize. And Mace Windex, big up to you, coming in, say Euro is more risky than the Ligt. But the thing is that Euro is not going to be the first choice. Euro is going to be the number 2 to the Ligt. The Ligt is probably going to be the Varane replacement, but he's not going to play all these games. They're going to be rotational, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like this, guys, right? We shouldn't think about it as who's going to be the starter. We have 2 leagues to play this season. The Europa League is an actual league. There's 8 games, basic. You have to play 8 games. And those times run straight into January 30th, which means it's going to be Europa League, Carabao Cup, Premier League, as well as FA Cup in the month of January. So you're going to have to look at the perspective that we're going to have at least an option to rotate 5 to 6 players in the squad and hopefully not have the drop-off that we had for the last decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I think Euro is a great signing. Like, I've been watching Euro quite a while. And for me, he is a transformational signing. Like, he's still young, but he is the Rafael Varane that we missed on. Like, you know, if he kicks on, this guy got everything in his locker. In terms of his jingly legs, that's why I call him Lenny Long Legs. He is our Aaron Wan-Bissaka in terms of his tackle. He's very good on the ball, very good on break of the play, very good passing, but very aerial, very good in the air as well. Like, you know, so for me, Leny Yoro has got plenty to develop. But he's at 18 years of age at the moment. Oh, you got delivery. I just got
to answer the door. Yeah, sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, anyways, I just want to say I was speaking about Leny Yoro and why I think he's a transformative signing for United. Still at 18 years of age, you have plenty to develop. Like, and to play, like, you know, to be thrown in the lines that in the first beginning as an 18-year-old as a first team start it's not really what's going to happen, right? You will sort of slowly embed him into the team while you have a more experienced Matthias de Ligt playing that first right center back, in my opinion. But there's going to be ways where, you know, Matthias de Ligt needs a rest. Leny Yoro comes off the bench. There might be a situation where Leny Yoro starts and when Matthias de Ligt sits on the bench as well. So for me, that is a transformative signing. You know, 4 years down the line, he might be fully fledged and the next Rafael Varane. So Manchester United's done a blinder, basically. Gone in and hijacked Real Madrid's dream signing in terms of that position. But when Real Madrid has not been showing intent and being serious, being nonchalant, Manchester United has managed to do something that nobody believed, hijack that deal. Come in and slapping that 50 million on the table and said, can we speak to the player and the agent? Yes, you can. Now you put the money on the table and now the project starts. So obviously they come in and sort of painted the picture for him. Where do you fit in the team and what is the future plan? Now, of course, he's been swayed by the looks of it because multiple reports coming and say, they are now talking about personal terms. Once the bid has been accepted, once Leny Yoro has sort of accepted the personal deal, deal, personal terms, it's going to be like Mason Greenwood. I'm going to think about it, and here we go. So for me, Mark was saying 80%. I'm still leaning on the 70%, like you guys in the poll was saying as well. At the end of the day, Mark got delivery. Now he's back. And what did you order? Was it pizza? What was it?
Oh, actually, one of my buddies came over from Hamburg, so he just came over to visit, to hang out for a bit. He just came back to the city, so he's gonna hang out for a while. I'll catch up with him in a little bit. He's gone. He's on the balcony chilling for a sec.
Come on, Mike Domingue, are you sure Yoro will come to United? Well, I'm not the weatherman, so it's hard to say, but by the signs of it, looks like most likely it's more swaying over to United, right? Real Madrid are not coming to the table to offer that. They are not giving him reassurances. They had conversations with him, from my understanding, to say, look, we really fancy you, but if you're not coming, we're going for alternatives. So we spoke about this earlier. It's all about players development, players getting minutes, player being loyal to the project. United have a very good project at the moment. So am I sure? I'm not saying 100%. That's why I'm saying 70%. But I think that this will be transpiring within this week, more likely and less. Same with Matthias de Ligt as well.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at it, it's like United are doing good business. And well, we are not the weatherman and we don't predict the future. You know what I mean? For me, when you look at the situation, forget de Ligt. I mean, Yoro. When you look at the situation with Yoro, we know his dream club is Madrid. That's fair to find. We already know this. But if he did not want to come, he would have rejected the deal from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? The deal was on the table for a week.
100%.
He said he wanted 100%. Time to think about it, guys. And he's thinking about it. And now he's opened negotiations for terms with Manchester United.
That's basically playing, given the green light to say, let's talk. What is going to be my salary? I'm sold. Yeah. Oof. I might sway over another 10% to your side now. No, I'm going to keep it to 70, so I'm not going to jinx it. And here's a point what Nero is saying. He can be a great understudy to Ligt and Martinez. And the thing is, he's such a versatile player, so he can play both left and right. But we're going to dive into, let's forget about the Ligt. Let's forget about the Yoro. We've spoken about this lengthy now, 30 minutes. And we're going to talk about who is the left-sided centre-back. And we're not going to get Brentwood. We walk away from that one because, they're going to sell Onana right in the midfield to Arsenal by the looks of it. But I've been saying it for quite a while. Keep your eyes on the prize. Goncalo Iheanacho, right? I did some calls earlier today, and that is heating up as well. So I believe we're going to hear more about Goncalo Iheanacho. What do you know about Goncalo Iheanacho?
Well, he's basically one of the top progressors of the ball in his pairing in Europe at the moment. He's ranked 3rd for most ball progress and forward passes. He's one of the best tactically sound defenders that there are currently in the league. Right now in Europe, his stats for tackles is 3rd highest, at averaging 7.8 tackles per game, 6.2 recoveries, and he wins 79% of his aerial duels. He also wins 88% of his ground duels. He's very good at progressively passing the ball. I would say he can also play left back as well. He's like a Martinez, but he can play right center back, left center back, and left back.
That's it. And we need a left back, 100%. We do. So he can absolutely deputize and play in that position. Like, there'll be moments when Leach is not going to play. We can even throw him in as a left back as well. And it's such a good progress of the ball. I would say that for that price, 45 million, is cheaper than get a Brentwood. It's got what? 2 years, one good year in the Dutch Eredivisie, right? And one stellar good year at Everton, and they want 75 million. Nah, forget about it. You can go 100%. This international. He played in the Euros as well for Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, look at it like this, guys. There's lots of options out there. I know Man United are used to being linked with almost all of the players in the transfer window, but we are actually making moves both with incomings and both with outgoings. Yes, there might be. You might have seen that we have blocked the deal for McTominay, right? We actually want to get more money. I mean, it's got Galatasaray, but think about it like this: Fulham has yet to come in for their chance with him, and they definitely are coming because they just sold their player. So
yeah, first and foremost, I just want to congratulate two of our players for winning the Copa America. We're talking about no other than Alejandro Garnacho and Lisandro Martinez. Congratulations, big congratulations for winning Copa America. They're now coming home to Manchester United after the holiday, full of beans and ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rumble. You know, it's going to be good for Garnacho. I'm especially happy for him. Most of all, I think he needs this. He's one of those players that live on the edge. He has that X factor. You know, he needs that. He has that big personality to go with it. And, you know, he needs these kind of acclamations to help him boost his confidence and the way he plays. I think it could only bode well for him going into the next season. And I expect him to be levels better as well.
Yeah, I'm actually glad we walked away from Brentwood. I was never sold on that one, but if we can continue. But congratulations to these guys and get them young. 70 likes. If you can get over to 100 likes, Mark will do a breakdance and a chicken dance and a backflip in the once.
Yeah. Well, you guys got 10 minutes because I suddenly have a guest. So in that 10 minutes, if we get to 100 likes, you get a little bit of a chicken dance. I might have to do it anyway because, you know, guys, I kind of lost it. You know, I was backing Mason to stay. He didn't stay, and he's gone.
This player did an amazing audition yesterday. Sverre Nypan from Rosenborg, and we've been linked to him. I heard rumors for months about Sverre Nypan, and he did a fantastic job yesterday. It was big performance for him.
Yeah, he was very interesting in the middle of the park. He had kind of a smirk on his face during the game. He had this kind of grin, you know, like he was excited to be playing against Man United in the midfield and show his stuff. He was pretty physical as well in his tackling. I like the look of him. Very technical player, quick, got a good engine, and not afraid to mix it up with the bigger boys. You know what I mean? So it's something that we definitely should be looking at. For some strange reason, I also kind of liked the look of the striker that scored the goal at the end of the game. For some reason, I just kind of like his vibe. I have to look more at the Norwegian league now because, you know, I watched that game yesterday, and those two players heavily and hugely interested me. So I will.
They have a very interesting talent pool coming up, a generation right now. Sverre Nypan is one of them, and Mace Windex is saying, "Please, no chicken dance, please, no way." And Angie, I can see you upset about Mason Greenwood. Join the club because Mark is also crying. No worries. But you know what? You got to look at what's better for Greenwood, like, and his family, like, you know, and I believe coming to England was never a choice, right? He will be ridiculed, and the chance will be ridiculous still, right? You're still a father. You're still, you know, you're going to be a husband. What's the better way? Just to play your football, like, and enjoy life. Marseille, you know, it's a good life. Like, it's by the Riviera, by the coast, nice and cozy, you know, good.
I mean,
and you're going to have De Zerbi there as well.
Well, yeah, you know, that those are the positive things for me, you know, in a sense. It's positive that he has a coach like De Zerbi that's going to back him and protect him, because that's what he needed. And to be fair, Mick, I felt like for the size of the club United is, we should have done a better job in protecting him. He's one of our own. We raised that little boy from 11 years old to his age right now. He was a teenager when he made that mistake, and we should protect the young ones. You know, I know sometimes things might look extremely disappointing and bad, but these are young kids, and you got to protect them. And you know, there's no place like home. Funny enough, I would be saying that as I live in Germany and no longer in Trinidad and Tobago.
No.
But
one thing,
is no place like home.
One thing we can agree on, no matter, like, you know, wish every Manchester United player that goes to another club, like, we can say best of luck, you know.
Yeah.
All we can do is say best of luck, break a leg, do your madness, and, you know, I hope you fly well, Mason. You know, at the end of the day, guys, 1,250 watching this live on all channels right now, and 81 likes. Can we get greedy, Mark? Should we say minimum 200 likes now?
Yeah, let's try to get to 100 likes first, and then we'll push to 150, guys. Maybe by the time the stream ends, you guys could give us 200. Come on, like the thing, people. It's easy, it's free. Smash a like. It's just like this. Just boop, boop.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So sweet. Gutierrez seems to be heating up to Manchester United as well in terms of the center left back. We spoke about McTominay. Apparently, McTominay, they are looking to sort of extend this contract just to increase the value of it, right? Fulham is yet to come in. Fulham is interesting. Galatasaray, you know what? The Turks, the Galatasaray, they come in with 10 billion. Like, hey, here's your 10 million, right? Get out of it. Like, you know, Scott McTominay is worth minimum 40 at the moment, right?
I see. Yeah, Scott McTominay is a good, is one of those things where the club wants 40 million for him. I think it might have been a good deal, you know what I mean, to send him to Galatasaray if they are coming in with at least 20. But I still would have also done the same thing United did and wait for Fulham to make an offer, because you know they wanted the player last summer. They offered, like, I think somewhere like £25 million last summer for him. It's obvious this summer they might come in a little bit bigger because they got that money from Paulinho. So I would do the same thing United did. I would have rejected that deal as well.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the only reason why we're kind of looking to extend this contract is to just get a little bit more mucho dineros. One that knows Norwegian football. Did I say Norwegian? I read Jarvis. Norwegian football, of course, are legendary Jarvis corner. Cocker say Mark. Rosenberg is crap. Buda Glimt is the team to look out for, what he's saying. He knows more than Norwegian football. Of course, he's Norwegian.
That's the
Albert Grönbeck is one to watch. Guys, remember this, Albert Grönbeck.
Didn't Albert Grönbeck got sold last week? I'm not too sure, but I think he got sold last week.
Boom. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not following. So, Jarvis, if you know, did Albert Grönbeck get sold? Reply in the comment, please. The Vogonator pick up Jarvis, boom, with the fist. Midfield, looks like Casemiro is on his way out. We knew they're forcing him out. We've been hearing that Al Ittihad is interested to pay 30 million for him. Some other reports saying lower, but at the end of the day, Manchester United is just basically look to force him out the club based on his wages. Sentimental, yes. Can you be? We bought him for 60 million. He helped us to win 2 trophies, you can say. So the return on investment of Casemiro has been good. Last season wasn't that great. We all saw the stagnation of Casemiro. For me, if we get even 30, 25 and just cut the wages, that is a massive profit for United. So I think that in return on investment, we got the best out of Casemiro in this situation. So if we get 30 million, that's a recuperation, isn't it? Plus wages off.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing for me, Mick, is the wages. You know, when you free up something like $500,000 in wages per week, that's mad. That also allows us to sign 4 or 5 players who are not going to be on 100, who are going to each be on less than 100K a week, and it keeps our balance down. Yes, like I know I read that somewhere that Grönbeck was sold somewhere, and he was gone to France to run. You know, it's interesting. He's a good player. I think I will be checking it out. You know what I mean? You know, I try to watch as much football as I can. I don't really watch much television otherwise, but you know, I do watch YouTube and you guys whenever you are live. All of the ones all of my friends, I watch all of you guys. So don't think, even if you have 5 followers, I'm pretty sure I'm one of them. Just remember that.
Yeah, big up. You know, you just reached your 300 subscribers on your channel, so congratulations to you. Ugarte is also we're going to speak about. I see what you're coming. We are pressing for time. Scott, if Scotty stays, would you be disappointed?
I wouldn't. The funny thing is, if we get an Ugarte in the midfield, I would never be disappointed in having Scott, because we need a destroyer. A lot of people keep thinking, I know everyone is fancied with, they want someone who could be ball playing. You cannot win a game with 11 ballers. 11 ballers, no one tackles, no one wins the ball. The other team, there's no one who's fearing 11 ballers when it comes to taking the ball off of them. There's no one to clatter them with a tackle. So you need a destroyer. When you get a destroyer like Ugarte, he's going to make Kobe flourish. He's going to make Bruno better, just because he's going to do the simple things, break the play up, put in a tackle, and give the ball to Kobe, or give the ball to Bruno, or give it to Licha. This is what he's going to do, and he's going to be amazing at it. You know what I mean? So
okay, so we're gonna move on because you got guests and there's so many of you watching. I'm just gonna check the live. How many people actually hit the live? Still 94 likes. We are 6 away from 100 likes, and potentially Mark not getting away for doing a chicken dance. Jokes aside, listen. The way United is kind of moving, it's per my understanding from my conversations earlier today. Okay, the Xerxes was an opportunity. We were looking to start with the center back and the left back first, right? But Xerxes was such a good deal to be made in terms of the release clauses, so they triggered that quite quickly. Once you see the center back situation being sorted, we're moving on to the midfield, and Ugarte is definitely on that list. Ugarte, in terms of personal terms, not a problem. PSG has said, like, you know, we don't want you. So United and PSG are kind of in talks currently, like how we're going to, again, on our terms, Manchester United terms, structure that deal. They want 50 million. United is willing to pay 40 million euros. and work on that structure, amortization structure. Like, it's all about coming to an agreement. He's sold. He definitely wants to join Manchester United, and I think that would be a transformative signing. Another one is also what's going on with our own Amratank. So it looks like we're going to trigger that one on 13 million, to be honest, right? I think he's put in a transfer request. He doesn't want to return back to Fiorentina. He wants to stay at United. United haven't really made up their mind because they have other issues to solve. They know that this 13 million deal with Fiorentina is easy to make. So that is the one to keep. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a Ugarte plus Amrabat, to be honest. But we need another one. Or can we bank on Kobe Mainoo and potentially Collier and potentially what have we seen yesterday against Rosenborg? Or do you think we're going to get another signing in there in the midfield?
Well, the interesting part about that is, I think, funny enough, I think Ugarte transforms a lot of players in that midfield. Scott McTominay might be better. He wouldn't have to worry too much about making tackles in the midfield like some guys are mad at him for.
You're done. You're done.
I'm running away today. But, I think, Amrabat coming in as well will be great. There's been some rumors that the deal could be somewhere even cheaper, somewhere in the region of 12 million euros, 12 to 11 million pounds, which is going to be amazing because we're going to have Amrabat as well as Ugarte. You know what I mean? Those are two destroyers in the midfield that could sit there and they could provide a base for the other attacking midfielders to perform well off of. But the interesting thing in the midfield is that we're still interested in something like Xavi Simons. And Xavi Simons, for me, in a way, I don't want to sound negative, guys, but to me, it seems like the club is sending a message to Mason Mount that he needs to get his act together this season. Because if we do get at Xavi Simons, it could spell the end of him at Manchester United.
Yeah, no, they did really favor. I mean, we've been after Xavi Simons for 1 year at least, and the thing is that he's got the power. He doesn't want to return back to PSG. I know that the Bayern is chasing, but he doesn't want to stay in Bundesliga. So it comes down to the power of Xavi Simons. He decides, and this has been reported by Fabrizio Romano. And United working tirelessly of convincing. It doesn't take much convincing when you have Ruud van Nistelrooy. If you look at the mouthwatering project, so yeah, I would say that Xavi Simons might be coming in for a loan with an obligation to buy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to come in. I know he's Dutch, but guys, remember, there's a young academy with players coming into the squad. So technically, the homegrown quota has been already filled. The likes of Collier is in the squad. Ethan Weekly, third striker, is in the squad. There's another midfielder that might be added again from the youth. You saw the performance of young Ennis yesterday. He was head and shoulders above most of the other players yesterday. Yeah. He could be a shock inclusion as well. Will Fish has bulked up, has gotten his physicality in check, and Radmal Vitek. You cannot forget these guys. And they are all considered homegrown players, guys.
Yeah. Saying with the Mason Mount, another waste by Erik ten Hag. Well, that's been debunked. That was not a Ten Hag signing. That was a club signing that he didn't control. There was pretty much, they gave in the number 7 shirt. They overpaid. It was pretty much the old establishment. It was never Ten Hag's first choice, to be honest. Listen, Mason Mount, you saw him yesterday. It's hard to sort of cast a judgment of a first preseason game against Rosenborg. Final kick of the game, they scored 0-1. I thought it was a snore fest. It was more about getting players like, 45 minutes under the belt. But who impressed you most out of all of them that played? I thought Rashford was wasted. I didn't see much of Mason Mount. The senior players was, I don't know.
I mean, I have to admit, I was paying more attention to the youngsters. I was looking at the likes of the young left back who was playing before Harry Amas. I like the look of him a lot. Sam Mathers, he looks pretty good. You know what I mean? I like the look of the young Ines a lot. He's one of the players I'm happy about. Joe Scanlon came on. He got a few minutes. He was in and about the midfield causing problems. He got one of our few shots
and the
off.
Centre back, what's his name? The captain, what's his name?
Will Fish.
Will Fish came on,
came on as well, and there's a lot of interesting talent. I thought as well. Young Jack Fletcher did pretty well in his cameo.
Yeah, he did well
yesterday.
He looked massive when he came on.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been working hard. Collier has been working very hard. I don't know what Erik ten Hag whispered in his ears after the FA Cup final, but he looks a mean guy at this moment. He's put on some physicality. You can tell he wasn't hitting the gym very hard. You know, he was up for the game yesterday. And I think, you know, if you assess the game, you can clearly see that a lot of the reason we did not play well is because there was so much nerves in some of the players who were trying to impress Erik ten Hag,
the manager,
impress the coaches, impress the fans. But I would tell you, these things happen sometimes.
Yeah, no, listen, there'll be plenty of games to play. Like, you know, I thought that I had high hopes for Harry Amos, but he looked a little bit shaky, nervous. And the man of the match for me yesterday, and I must agree with Lillis, that was Radek Vitek. What a keeper. You know, sweeper keeper, good distribution of the ball, but good hands as well, good reflections. What's your thoughts on Radek Vitek?
Radek Vitek is going to give Erik ten Hag some things to consider this season. I think he's going to be featuring in the Carabao Cup as the goalkeeper of Carabao Cup. I think they're going to reserve Andre Onana specifically for the Premier League and the Europa League. And the two cups are going to be sought out by the other two goalkeepers. That's why we retain them. And I think that's going to be interesting because Radek Vitek, for me, he's kind of like the guy that we sold to the Russian club Belgrade that ended up at Leverkusen. He's that good. You know what I mean? So we have an interesting core of talent coming through. I think a lot of guys are going to be a little bit surprised, you know, and I know some of you might not have been impressed by some of the youngsters yesterday, but I think Ethan Whitley done a brilliant job yesterday playing the striker role. He almost scored, very much like professional. You know, it's possible Vitek might leave Illis, but at the same time, look at it now. With the performances that these guys have given, we are certainly going to be getting some funds in for those who are leaving, and it's going to be more than 100,000 or £1 million, which we used to be getting before in the old establishment. 8 million, 10 million is the average right now for these guys. So, you know, it's going to be fun.
Well, not everyone's going to make it, but we know that Ten Hag has tapped on Collier, Ten Hag has tapped on Wheatley, maybe Shea Lacey would give it a chance, Harry Amos as well. But Wheatley, oh my God, he almost scored. He looks like the real deal, to be honest, right?
And he is the striker 9. He's not that, you know, that mixed striker that he is able to do all those things like link up and, you know, create for his attacking teammates. But he is the goal poacher. He is that number 9, that typical number 9 that bags. And the one thing, the ball seems to love him. And in my country, we have a saying, you know, the ball follows you. When you're a baller, the ball follows you all over the field. No matter where you are, the ball comes to you.
And Washington Wayne is saying Vitek should be our second goalkeeper this coming season. Might be so. Yeah, good point.
Still be.
Listen, another thing that now, which is going to be interesting, guys, because now that we sold Mason Greenwood, right? That means that it's opened up the position for another winger. You know, who do you think that's going to be? Because are we going in for a Frimpong or are we going in for who on that winger? Because we sold the winger.
Well, now we sold the winger. You see, the thing is, I think the preseason is going to give us is one of those things that's going to deter us buying a attacking winger in the early parts. I think if we get an attacking player again, it's going to come in at the very end of the window. And I think this is mostly because of the likes of Joe Scanion, Ethan Wheatley, as well as Shea Lacey. You know, you can even add Ethan Williams into that. You know, Desiree Doué, I've been hearing lots of reports that the PSG is hot on his heels. Bayern Munich has made him their priority target as well. And Mace Windex says it as well. Sancho is here. And the manager has stated out in public today that he is in his plans for the season. So if Sancho is in the manager's plans, then he's going nowhere. You know what I mean? That's our replacement for Greenwood. It's not a bad replacement. To be fair.
So basically, Fabrizio Romano just reposted that Euro tweet about the bid. So basically, what? Fabrizio just reposted his Euro tweet about the bid. I didn't really get that. Can you please clarify?
Yeah, what he means is that the same tweet he posted a week ago when we made the bid with for Euro, he reposted it again. And I think what he's hinting at is that Fabrizio, when he reposts tweets like this, when it's almost a sure thing.
Okay, so here we go. That's about it, guys. I think that at the end of the day, Desiree Doué, lovely player. I would love to have him, but I think that in this position, I think that Manchester United is more looking at Jarvis Simmons with an obligation to buy, right? Since we're getting rid of Greenwood, because Ten Hag has been mad about the scouting department, has been looking at him for over a year. They tried to sign him last year as well. He's not happy at PSG. Maybe this is a deal what they're just talking about. You can have Desiree Doué if we have Jarvis Simmons, which he doesn't want to play for you guys anyway. So we take him on loan with an obligation to buy. We give up on Desiree Doué. He can be yours.
100%. The one thing is funny. I don't think with the Desiree Doué deal, I think it's something that United would definitely look at, because he definitely replaces something on the left side. We kind of right-sided dominant in the wingers situation at the moment. I think we have a lot of talent on the right side. So I think something on the left might be interesting. This is why Desiree Doué is so interesting to me. The only problem is, when are we going to get into negotiations for this guy? Because by the time we do, he might already be on his way to either, Bayern Munich or maybe PSG. There's also something from my biggest little thing for this window is that our marquee signing is going to be Joao Neves. So I'm kind of like,
we'll see at the end of the window. I think the unicorn signing is Unicorn Sky. Has been a member for 1 year. Big up, Unicorn Sky. How are you doing? Long time.
Hey, Unicorn Sky, what's up?
So I think that unicorn signing might be Jarvis Simmons there, because such a versatile player, right? And he hasn't really kicked on PSG. He went on a loan for, RB Leipzig. And who is that? The connection with RB Leipzig. It's a sport head of recruitment that's been talking straight directed to him. So we will see, big up Sky. One more memberships. Guys, if you want to become a member, please, there's a link there to say join. It's only €1 per month to be a member, and we'll post more memberships video as well. I'm afraid that your guest is tired of you right now. We're going over time.
I'm gonna have to run, guys, but I'm sorry about that. But don't worry, guys. We will be back maybe tomorrow with an earlier M&M show for you guys, because somehow I get the feeling that we're gonna have some great news tomorrow. They made me sad today, but they're gonna make me happy tomorrow. This is Man United for you guys. You know what I mean? This is why I'm always so happy, because Man United, they do these things sometimes, and it's really one of those things where, I love this club so much. I might like players, I might have my favorite players, but at the same time, I love this club more than I love any player. So as much as I like Mason, he's going on to greener pastures. Hope all the best to him. My focus is on United.
Yep. I want to shout out to Scott at the wheel for being member for 11 months, legend, and also Angie, a lovely, lovely Angie. It's been member for 13 months. Thank you, Angie, for staying with us so long, for believing in us, for tuning in. I love this community, guys. This has been a fantastic stream. I must be saying that I am still sorry. I apologize for not being live since Friday. Being out celebrating in a way. It's not often that I do get out in the pub and do things. So still feeling it. I went to an Irish pub in Phuket and watched the game, Spain and England, and absolutely got home at 6 o'clock. I don't know. I don't even remember the game, to be honest. So just you know what I mean.
Mick was trying to be a young guy. He thought he was 21 again. You know what I mean? It happens to the best of us.
Well, I'm still 21.
At least you had a good time. You enjoyed yourself, and you're back safe here, giving us the news as usual.
I just want to thank everyone that's tuning in. There's about 1,775 tuning in, 111 likes. Can we get those likes up before we close the window? Just to summarize what we talked about, breaking news regarding Leny Yoro. That he's now agreeing to personal terms. That is advanced stages. Once the bid has gone in, club has been talking to his agent, which is Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes is a very good friend of Manchester United, and Jorge Mendes has been spotting in Carrington for the last 2 months, coming in and out. I believe that what you said, salary is going to be around 70, 75, 5 years contract. And I said it earlier this morning that this will be here we go very soon, together with Matthias de Ligt. There is just 2 separate deals, not one. It's not either or the other. We're looking to sign de Ligt and Leny Yoro. In terms of that moving forward, and in terms of the centre back, we've spoken about McTominay potentially going to Fulham as well. There's lots of bids coming in for him. Apparently, Manchester United are protecting his asset by saying no to certain low block deals, but also going in on the market to say, hey, we're thinking to give him another contract or extend his contract. So we will see what's going on there. Aaron Bissaka to AC Milan has legs, apparently. I wish him all the best, because that league would suit him very well. What's going on with Casemiro also to Saudi? Guys, it's going to be such a lit window, to be honest, right? For the first time in 11 years, I've never seen such a window like this. I'll be covering this for a very long time. If we get outs and if we get refreshments in, we get 10 gifted memberships before we close.
Big up to Angie, you legend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.
And let's check out and see who got those memberships. Let me see.
Before we close the shop, Angie just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Angie. Madhouse was gifted a membership. Must Play, welcome to the family. Quad Sports Carl was also gifted a membership. And Yale Malmin was also gifted a membership. Nico AV, Anthony Millington as well. Scott at the Wheel didn't get a membership, but Ivan Lore was gifted a membership. The Yorkshire Cowboy was gifted a membership. Dazza Dean, Amy Ofori, and who else? Was that it? Did I miss anything?
That's it for now.
That's it
for now.
Listen,
big up Angie, and big welcome to the MUFC Realist family and the VR room. You guys who've gotten those memberships and those who've gotten memberships were also already members. Don't forget to smash a like and big up and share it around, because Angie shares it around. You know what I mean?
Instead of doing the chicken dance, we're doing this one.
Oh my God!
Welcome to the family, and thank you, Angie. Give Angie all the roses and the love hearts. Mark refuses to do a chicken dance. We will put him in the sin bin.
I'm sorry, guys, but I really have to run. But I wanted to say this because I did hear about this. Bernie Dre, big up to Bernie Dre. He comes from the reckless family, you know, KG stream. He watches the streams with Papi and stuff all the time. Really great guy. And he's coming in. He's from Jamaica, and he's coming in live. Oli rumored to be heading to Jamaica as new head coach, and that supports the theory. When I told everyone that Mason Greenwood was wearing the Jamaican national team kit when he was spotted in training with Shola Shoretiri.
Yep, Mark, look at me. I'm watching you. Since you didn't do the chicken dance,
it's embarrassing.
Since you didn't,
it's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
I will make it up to the VR rumors. I will make it up to you guys, but for now, I got a jet. I love you all.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all memberships, gifting, everyone. We gotta go. Tune in to the next time. We'll be live very, very shortly.
Angie, I mean, you share the love around. You share the channel everywhere you go, and you promote us really well. That's what I mean. That's what I meant by that. I'm sorry. You know.
Okay, time to close the shop, people. Thank you. Mark didn't do the chicken dance. He's embarrassing. He's disgrace. Manchester United moving bits. Go check out this video in retrospective. Go check out the morning video that I did as well. And until then, people, we had our say. Peace, love, go bananas. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Bye for now. Ciao.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.